Good morning, everybody. Hope you're well. I usually don't give this class on Friday mornings, but being that tonight is a very special day, I thought I would share with you a little bit of a Dvar Torah. Tonight is the beginning of the new year. What do I mean the new year? The Talmud says there are 4 new years in the Jewish calendar. And of course, the one that we usually think of is Rosh Hashanah, which falls out in September, the beginning of Tishrei, the month of Tishrei. But this is the month of Nisan tonight. The beginning of Nisan is a very special year because this is the beginning of the spiritual year of the Jewish people. It says that once God chose Jacob and his children, and of course, especially when he took us out of Egypt, he established tonight as being the beginning of the Jewish year. So Happy New Year, everybody, and Shana Tova, and I hope that we're all able to really make meaningful preparations as we go through whatever we're going through in our lives. Make it even more meaningful tonight because of the specialness of this special month of Nisan. Of course, we have the month filled with many mitzvahs because Passover falls out during this month. And for that, I wanted to share a little bit of a Dvar Torah which connects Shabbos also to Yetzias Mitzrayim, to the Exodus from Egypt. Every Friday night, we say Kiddush. Kiddush is the time that we take the wine and we, so to say, inaugurate the Shabbos through special blessings. And in the Kiddush itself, I'm going to read to you what it says. It says, Zikaron l'maaseh bereshis, techili mikroi kodesh zechel yetzias Mitzrayim. Part of the Kiddush says that in remembrance of the work of creation, the first of the holy festivals, commemorating the Exodus from Egypt. So the question is this, how is it commemorating the Exodus from Egypt? The Kiddush is for the fact that God created the world in 6 days, in 7 days with Shabbos. And that happened many years before the Exodus from Egypt. So how could it have been established then to commemorate the Exodus from Egypt? So if you look at the wording, though, a little more carefully, it says Zecher Yetzias Mitzrayim. Zecher can be translated either as remembrance or perhaps also as a reminder, as it's arousing our memory as to what the meaning is of Yetzias Mitzrayim and the comparison that we have between Shabbos and Yetzias Mitzrayim. The Exodus from Egypt is not just about an event that happened thousands of years ago. Mitzrayim in Hebrew has the same meaning as the word for Meitzer and Gevul. Meitzer means a boundary, an obstacle, something that's in your way, something that's preventing you from your growth, from your personal, so to say, liberation from your own form of slavery. And as a result, the Yetzias Mitzrayim, the Exodus from Egypt, is about how do we, on a daily basis, go out of our own personal Egypt? How do we go beyond the pharaohs that enslave us? How do we identify them, first of all, and then be able to give ourselves or learn the tools and exercise those tools to be able to really become a free people on an individual basis? And as the Haggadah says, that b'chol dor v'dor, every generation, every Jew is responsible, really, as the Alter Rebbe interprets it, every Jew is responsible every day to really be able to strive to come out of their own personal Egypt. It's not just an annual event with the Haggadah and the Seder, and it's not just an event that happened thousands of years ago. It's a daily struggle for us to identify our own forms of slavery, because everybody, without exception, has a form of slavery. I might be enslaved to money, to a car, to my phone, to television, to my computer, to any of a number of things, and for sure, of course, to my inhibitions and to my desires, to addictions, to all types of things that we have that really are a very real form of slavery. And the person has to and should aspire to try to go beyond those forms of slavery. So when we have Zeichel Yetzias Mitzrayim, when we say that in the Kiddush, what does that mean? During Shabbos, we stop all of the different types of endeavors that we have that during the week, to a certain degree, enslave us. Our phone, our money, our lights, our gadgets, our things that we want to do, the car, going out for a ride, going to buy things, and so forth and so on. There are so many distractions that pull us apart in every single way, and that really take up a tremendous time of our own in order to be able to keep us going, to keep the capitalist system going, to keep on buying things, to keep on doing things. And sometimes we don't necessarily stop to really come to grips with who we are and what we want to be, and what our family is, and what our relationships are, and what our relationship to God is. And that's why Shabbos is in a certain way a Zeichel Yetzias Mitzrayim. It's a reminder of what it means to come out of Egypt. That to a certain degree, the 6 days of the week are a little bit of our Egypt. They are the Egypt which enslaves us to do what we have to do. And could be just having to go get a job and pay the mortgage and do those things. That's not we don't think of it as a slavery, but it's consuming a tremendous amount of our time and our attention. And as a result, Shabbos liberates us. Shabbos frees us from all of those different things and gives us the opportunity to really feel freedom from all those things. What's the proof of a person, let's say, whether or not they're addicted to cigarettes, for instance? If they can stop for 25 hours on Shabbos and not have anything to do with that cigarette, even if they go back to it after Shabbos, which I wouldn't recommend, obviously, but even if they do, they've made a statement that they're not addicted. A person who's addicted can't really stop. So when we stop on Shabbos from use of money, from use of our phone, from use of television, or whatever it might be that takes up so much of our time, we're making a statement, I'm free from this. I can go back into it after Shabbos with a new, refreshed attitude, being able to appreciate it for what it is, but putting it in perspective as well as serving a purpose to be able to help me to become a better person, a better Jew, a better human being. But it's only a means to an end. It's no longer an end in itself. So that's why on Shabbos, we say Zechli Tzitz Mitzrayim. So I hope you'll have some food for thought for your Shabbos table if you're observing Shabbos, or at least making a Shabbos meal together with your family tonight. Hopefully it's something you can discuss a little bit. I want to dedicate today's class to my son, Baruch Nissen Beni, who would have been 40 years old tonight. He passed away right after his bar mitzvah. And also I want to remind everybody that we're having a beautiful Shabbos retreat at the Radisson in Hapag. We already have about 6 or 7 of our 20 rooms reserved. We're limiting the amount of people who can come to this because we want to make it very personal and very intimate. And it's going to be really about relationships. And we have an unbelievable speaker, Rabbi Shais Taub, who, if you want to look him up, Shais is S-H-A-I-S, Taub, T-A-U-B. He has great talks on Google, on YouTube, on Chabad.org, on Jewish.tv, on many other sites. And I really recommend that you check it out because it should be a wonderful, wonderful 2-3 days together, really learning, growing, exploring, and taking full advantage of the freedom that we're going to experience on Shabbat. So that's May 11th, and I really encourage you to check it out. Give me a call if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. I'm at 631-922-0138. Or for that matter, anything else you want to call about. Have a great Shabbos. Have a good Chodesh, a good Rosh Chodesh tonight. Have an enjoyable Kiddush, and I hope that you continue to grow in your Yiddishkeit as much as you possibly can. Take care. All the best.